Welcome to Books and More, the channel that brings timeless wisdom from the world's best books to life. In this episode, we explore Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life by Hector Garcia and Francesc Morales, a beautiful guide to discovering your purpose, nurturing happiness, and living with balance. Through the wisdom of Okinawa's centenarians, this book teaches us how small daily habits, gratitude, and a clear sense of meaning can lead to a long, peaceful, and fulfilling life. Find your Ikigai and live with joy every day. Chapter 8. Ikigai, the reason for being. Every person has a reason to wake up each morning, a purpose that fills life with meaning and energy. In Japan, this is called Ikigai. It's not about grand ambitions or material success. Rather, it's the quiet joy of doing something that gives your life worth. In Okinawa, home to some of the world's longest living people, Ikigai is woven into daily existence. It's the harmony of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can give back. Finding your Ikigai is not a task to be rushed. It is a lifelong journey of discovery. In the first chapter, the authors explore the unique lifestyle of the Okinawan people. They live simply, close to nature, and maintain a strong sense of community. Each day, they wake with a purpose, whether tending their gardens, cooking for family, or joining neighbors for laughter and conversation. They rarely retire in the Western sense. Instead, they continue contributing to their community for as long as they can. To them, work is not a burden but an expression of life itself, a source of joy and belonging. Through their research in the blue zones, regions where people live longer and healthier lives, the authors discovered key patterns that reflect this Japanese wisdom. People in these areas share common habits. They move naturally through daily activities, eat moderately, stay connected to others, and maintain a calm, optimistic spirit. They avoid stress by living at a slower pace and by practicing gratitude. Their strength doesn't come from strict routines or wealth, but from balance, moderation, and meaning. At the heart of this philosophy lies a few simple rules for a long and happy life. Don't fill your stomach completely. The Okinawan saying, hara hachibu, reminds us to eat only until we're 80% full, respecting the body's natural rhythm. Surround yourself with good friends. Companionship brings laughter, advice, and the warmth that keeps the heart young. Stay active. Like flowing water, the body remains alive when it moves. Smile and be kind. A cheerful attitude invites positive energy and connection. Reconnect with nature. The world outside reminds us of our place within it, offering calm and renewal. Give thanks daily. Gratitude turns ordinary days into blessings. Live in the moment. Life exists only here and now, not in regrets or fears. Follow your Ikigai. Each of us has a unique passion that makes us feel alive. Finding and nurturing it is the essence of a fulfilling life. Ikigai, the Japanese secret to... The authors remind us that Ikigai is not a secret reserved for the Japanese. It is a universal truth about human happiness. When we align our actions with our values, maintain social ties, and treat each day as a gift, we cultivate both longevity and peace of mind. Ikigai teaches that life's purpose doesn't have to be extraordinary. It can be found in caring for others, creating something beautiful, or simply appreciating the small wonders that surround us. The message of this chapter is clear. Happiness is not found in seeking more, but in being fully present in what you already have. When you live with curiosity, gratitude, and purpose, age becomes just a number because your spirit stays young. This is the essence of Ikigai, living each day with meaning, grace, and a smile that says, I am alive. And that is enough. Chapter 2. Anti-Aging Secrets, the Art of Staying Young While Growing Old. The secret to longevity is not hidden in laboratories or miracle diets. It lies in the small, consistent choices we make every day. In Okinawa, people live longer not because they try to defy aging, but because they live in harmony with life itself. They see aging not as a curse, but as a natural part of existence, a process that can be graceful, joyful, and full of purpose. One of the most powerful lessons from the Okinawan lifestyle is that a youthful spirit keeps the body young. Scientific studies confirm what they have practiced for centuries. An active mind and a positive outlook are the best shields against aging. People who maintain curiosity, learn new skills, and engage their creativity continue to renew their brain's vitality well into their later years. Just as a muscle weakens when unused, the mind also needs exercise. Reading, social interaction, problem solving, or simply finding new interests. However, the greatest threat to both mind and body is stress. Chronic stress silently accelerates aging, weakening the immune system and damaging cells over time. The Okinawans, by contrast, have mastered the art of staying calm. They live slowly, with balance, and find peace in the rhythm of daily life. Their secret is not to eliminate challenges, but to face them with serenity. They practice mindfulness through simple rituals, drinking tea while watching the sunrise, tending their gardens, or sitting quietly with friends. For them, relaxation isn't an activity, it's a state of being. Interestingly, not all stress is harmful. A small amount, the right kind, can actually keep the mind sharp and motivated. The difference lies in perspective. People with a strong sense of purpose, their Ikigai, experience stress as a challenge rather than a threat. It energizes them instead of draining them. As the authors remind us, it's not the number of years we live that matters most, but the vitality we bring to those years. The Okinawans also teach us the value of movement. They don't rely on gyms or fitness plans. Their daily lives are filled with natural activity. They walk, garden, cook, clean, and visit neighbors. All simple movements that keep their joints flexible and circulation strong. Physical activity is not a burden, but a joy. Their secret is consistency. They move a little, but they move every day. Equally important is rest. Sleep is their nightly ritual of renewal, a sacred time when the body heals and the mind resets. The Okinawans sleep deeply and wake naturally, without rushing. Their lifestyle is in tune with natural light. They rest when it's dark and rise with the sun. This rhythm strengthens their internal clock and preserves their health. Yet perhaps the heart of their anti-aging wisdom lies in attitude. They laugh easily, forgive quickly, and rarely worry about the future. They enjoy what they have, share what they can, and find beauty in simplicity. Gratitude flows naturally from their way of life. A quiet acknowledgement that each moment is enough. To stay young, they remind us, is not to chase eternal youth, but to live fully in the present. Aging gracefully means accepting the passage of time without fear, continuing to grow, and keeping the heart open. It means waking each morning with something to look forward to, even if it's just a cup of tea, a walk in the garden, or a smile from a friend. The chapter concludes with the truth that transcends culture. Youth is not a number, but a state of mind. When we nurture curiosity, calmness, movement, rest, and gratitude, we create our own fountain of youth. To grow old in peace is not to resist life's flow, but to move with it, gracefully, mindfully, and with joy in every breath. Chapter 3. From Logotherapy to Ikigai, Finding Meaning to Live Better and Longer. At the core of every long and fulfilling life lies a question as old as humanity itself. Why do we live? This chapter explores that question through the wisdom of Viktor Frankl's Logotherapy, which teaches that the primary human drive is not pleasure or power, but meaning. In the aftermath of the Second World War, Frankl discovered that those who survived the most unimaginable suffering did so because they had something to live for. A reason, however small, that gave them strength. Frankl's philosophy mirrors the Japanese idea of Ikigai. Both remind us that when we have a purpose, we can endure anything. For Frankl, the search for meaning was not a luxury, it was a necessity. During his time in the concentration camps, he observed that those who found even a spark of purpose, a loved one waiting at home, a dream yet to be fulfilled, a piece of work unfinished, could bear immense pain. Meanwhile, those who had lost all sense of why soon gave up. His words still resonate. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. The authors connect this profound idea with the daily lives of the Okinawan people. They too live guided by purpose, not grand or heroic, but simple and personal. A fisherman who wakes each morning to provide for his village, a grandmother who tends her garden to share vegetables with her neighbors, an artisan perfecting his craft for decades, all live through Ikigai. Purpose gives rhythm to their days and peace to their nights. It keeps both body and soul alive. Frankl identified 3 ways in which we can find meaning in life: through work, through love, and through suffering. Work gives us the satisfaction of creating something that outlasts us. Love connects us deeply to others, reminding us that our existence matters beyond ourselves. And even in suffering, we can find meaning by choosing our attitude toward pain, transforming tragedy into strength. This last lesson echoes deeply in Japanese culture, where endurance and dignity in the face of hardship are seen as noble virtues. In Japan, this spirit also lives in Morita therapy and Nikon meditation, 2 practices that align closely with Frankl's teachings. Morita therapy teaches acceptance. Instead of fighting our emotions, we let them be and continue to act. We cannot control what we feel, but we can control what we do. Nikon meditation, on the other hand, is a quiet practice of self-reflection, where one contemplates 3 simple questions. What have I received? What have I given? What troubles have I caused? These questions help cultivate gratitude and humility, leading to inner harmony. Together, Logotherapy and these Japanese philosophies offer a roadmap for meaning. They remind us that fulfillment is not found in pleasure, but in purpose, not in avoiding pain, but in transforming it. A person with Ikigai sees obstacles not as curses, but as opportunities to grow stronger. Like the resilient bamboo that bends but never breaks, those with purpose adapt to life's storms without losing their essence. Modern life often drowns us in distractions, making us forget our why. We chase comfort, approval, and material gain, yet feel emptier than ever. The people of Okinawa, and Frankl before them, show us another way. When you live for something beyond yourself, no hardship can truly defeat you. The message of this chapter is clear. Meaning is medicine. It keeps the soul alive even when the body grows old. When we dedicate ourselves to something that matters, a cause, a person, or even a small daily joy, we build a resilience that no time or tragedy can destroy. In the end, finding one's Ikigai is not about discovering a single grand purpose, but about living each day with intention. It's about waking up knowing that what you do, however small, has meaning. When we live with that awareness, life stops feeling like a race and becomes what it was always meant to be, a journey filled with depth, beauty, and quiet strength. Chapter 4. The Power of Flow, Turning Work and Life into Joyful Harmony. In the heart of Japan lies a quiet philosophy that transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary experiences, the concept of flow. Coined by psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, flow is the state of complete absorption in an activity where time seems to disappear and only the present moment exists. In this chapter, the authors reveal that flow is one of the essential paths to finding one's Ikigai, the key to both happiness and longevity. People who live in a state of flow are not merely working or existing, they are creating harmony between mind, body, and purpose. When we enter this state, our thoughts align perfectly with our actions. There is no distraction, no anxiety, only pure focus and joy. It's the feeling an artist experiences when painting, a musician feels when lost in a melody, or a craftsman senses when shaping a piece of wood. Every movement becomes effortless yet deeply meaningful. In Japan, this connection between flow and life is everywhere. The Japanese have long understood that happiness doesn't come from doing less, but from doing what we love with our whole heart. The master calligrapher who practices the same brushstroke for years, the sushi chef who perfects the cut of a single fish, or the gardener who shapes trees with patience and respect, all embody flow. For them, perfection is not the goal, presence is. To experience flow, the author suggests a few conditions. The activity should be challenging but not overwhelming. It must have clear goals and immediate feedback. And most importantly, it must demand complete focus. When the challenge matches our skill, we enter a zone of effortless concentration where creativity blossoms. If the task is too easy, we grow bored. If it's too hard, we become anxious. Balance is the key. This mindset reflects the Japanese concept of takumi, the pursuit of mastery through dedication and patience. A takumi devotes his life to perfecting one craft, not for fame or wealth, but for the joy of refinement. The act of improvement itself becomes a form of meditation. Through repetition and presence, takumi artisans turn work into art and routine into meaning. The authors also discuss how flow can be found beyond traditional work. It can emerge in simple activities, cooking a meal, cleaning a room, or walking through nature. These microflows, as Csikszentmihalyi describes, are moments where life feels aligned and calm. Even the most mundane task can become sacred if approached with mindfulness. The Japanese call this spirit Ichigo Ichi-e, one time, one encounter, a reminder that every moment is unique and deserves our full attention. In modern life, where multitasking and distractions dominate, we often lose touch with this state. Our minds are split between past regrets and future worries, leaving little space for the present. But the Okinawans, who live with purpose and simplicity, remind us that peace is found in doing one thing fully. They don't rush through life, they live it deliberately, savoring the act of being engaged. Flow also protects us from stress and burnout. When we are immersed in something meaningful, our brains release dopamine and endorphins, natural chemicals that boost happiness and creativity. Time no longer feels like an enemy to be managed, but a river that carries us forward effortlessly. This is why people who often experience flow report greater life satisfaction and even live longer. Ultimately, flow is not about productivity, it's about presence. It teaches us that true fulfillment comes from the quality of our attention, not the number of our achievements. When we give ourselves completely to what we do, even simple moments become extraordinary. The lesson of this chapter is beautifully simple. Do what you love and do it with your whole heart. When you lose yourself in your craft, in nature, or in service to others, you find a deeper version of yourself. This harmony between action and awareness, between effort and ease, is the living essence of Ikigai. It is how ordinary people create extraordinary lives, one focused, joyful moment at a time. Chapter 5. Masters of Longevity, Wisdom from the World's Oldest People. Across the globe, there are people who defy the limits of age, living past 100 while maintaining joy, clarity, and purpose. In this chapter, the authors explore the lives of these remarkable elders, known as Masters of Longevity. Through their stories, we uncover a simple truth. A long life is not the result of wealth, luck, or genetics alone, but of attitude, routine, and community. The Centenarians of Okinawa and other blue zones share striking similarities. They move naturally throughout the day, eat lightly, maintain strong social ties, and keep a reason to live, their Ikigai. Each morning, they rise with something to look forward to, whether it's gardening, cooking, singing, or teaching. Their lives are filled with small rituals that nourish both body and spirit. They don't chase youth, instead, they embody contentment. One common thread among these masters of longevity is their sense of purpose. Even in old age, they feel needed. The grandmother who weaves baskets for her grandchildren, the farmer who tends his fields, or the village elder who shares stories with children, all continue to contribute. This sense of belonging gives them energy. In their eyes, life doesn't end at retirement, it simply changes rhythm. Work, friendship, and joy intertwine into a single flow that keeps them moving forward. The Centenarians also practice moderation. They follow the Okinawan rule hara-hachi-bu, eat until you are 80% full. Instead of indulging, they savor. Their meals are light and colorful, fresh vegetables, tofu, fish, and green tea. This diet not only nourishes the body, but prevents the diseases of excess. They view food as a gift from nature to be respected and enjoyed slowly. Just as important as diet is social connection. These long-living individuals never isolate themselves. They belong to moai, close-knit circles of friends who support one another emotionally and practically throughout life. Within these groups, they share meals, laughter, and memories. When one suffers loss, the others provide comfort. This network of compassion is a shield against loneliness and despair, two silent killers in modern societies. Equally powerful is their mindset. They see aging not as decline, but as a privilege. They smile often, laugh easily, and keep a positive attitude even when facing difficulties. Gratitude is their daily practice. Gratitude for the sunrise, for food, for friendship, for breath itself. Many of them have endured wars, hunger, and loss, yet they remain gentle and kind. They don't dwell on what's gone, they celebrate what remains. Movement, too, is woven into their way of life. They walk everywhere, garden, dance, and stretch without calling it exercise. The body, like water, stays fresh when it flows. They move not to achieve fitness goals, but because motion is joy. Even at 100, their posture remains upright, their steps light. Through these stories, the authors show us that longevity is a daily choice. It's built not in sudden transformations, but in steady habits. Eating wisely, staying active, keeping faith, and cherishing others. There is no magic formula, only the gentle wisdom of balance and appreciation. The greatest lesson from these masters of longevity is that a meaningful life does not depend on age, but on spirit. Their eyes shine not because they have avoided hardship, but because they have learned to embrace it. They live with humility, humor, and a quiet pride in simply being alive. In the end, the chapter leaves us with a reflection. Longevity is not measured by the number of years we live, but the depth of our days. When we live with gratitude, purpose, and kindness, we too become masters of longevity. Not because we live forever, but because we truly live every moment. Chapter 6. Lessons from Japan's Centenarians, the Wisdom of Living Well. In this chapter, the authors take us to Ogimi, a small village in Okinawa known as the Village of Longevity. Here, people not only live beyond 100 years, but do so with joy, gratitude, and deep connection. Through their words and habits, we discover timeless lessons about how to live meaningfully, not just long, but well. The first lesson from Japan's centenarians is harmony with nature. The people of Ogimi live close to the earth. They rise with the sun, work in their gardens, and rest as daylight fades. Their pace of life is slow, but intentional. They respect every element around them, from the sea breeze to the crops they grow. In their eyes, nature is not a resource to exploit, but a partner to live alongside. This deep connection gives them peace and stability, a rhythm that aligns with the natural world. The second lesson is gratitude. The elders of Okinawa begin and end their day with thankfulness. They thank their ancestors, the sun, the rain, their friends, and even their own hands for allowing them to work. One elderly woman told the authors, "If you keep saying thank you, your heart stays young." Gratitude acts as their daily meditation, reminding them to focus on abundance rather than scarcity. This mindset of appreciation creates resilience, a calm heart even in hardship. Another key to their happiness is community. In Ogimi, no one lives in isolation. Everyone belongs to a moai, a lifelong social circle that offers emotional and practical support. They share meals, celebrate birthdays, and help each other through illness or loss. These relationships form an invisible safety net that prevents loneliness, one of the greatest threats to health and happiness in old age. For them, friendship is medicine, laughter is therapy, and compassion is strength. The centenarians also embody simplicity and presence. They live without hurry, savoring each moment as it comes. Meals are eaten slowly, conversations flow naturally, and there is time to enjoy the sound of the wind or the taste of tea. They don't chase success or perfection. Instead, they find beauty in imperfection, a philosophy known as Wabi-Sabi. A chipped bowl or a wrinkled face is not something to hide, but to honor, for it tells the story of a life well lived. Another secret to their longevity is movement, not intense exercise, but gentle, natural activity woven into daily life. They walk, garden, cook, and clean, keeping their bodies active and flexible. Their movements are graceful, reflecting balance and mindfulness. They don't work out, they simply keep moving, and in doing so, keep living. Perhaps the most profound wisdom from these centenarians lies in their attitude toward aging. They don't fear growing old, they welcome it. Aging to them is not decline, but transformation. They focus on what they can still give rather than what they have lost. Many of them continue to work on their crafts, share stories, or care for their grandchildren. Their Ikigai, their reason for being, doesn't fade with age, it evolves. In the quiet smiles and steady hands of these elders, we see what it truly means to live fully. Their lives are proof that happiness does not depend on wealth, youth, or luck, but on perspective. To live long is a gift. To live with meaning is an art. The chapter closes with a gentle reminder. We all have the power to cultivate longevity through the way we live today. Be grateful, stay connected, move with intention, love nature, and never lose sight of your Ikigai. Because, as the centenarians of Ogimi teach us, the secret to a long life is not to count the years, but to fill each day with purpose, gratitude, and joy. Chapter 7. The Ikigai Diet, Eating for Longevity and Vitality. The secret to living long and staying young, as the Okinawans show us, begins with what we eat, but it goes far beyond food itself. In this chapter, the authors explore the Ikigai diet, a simple yet powerful way of nourishing both body and soul. The Okinawan approach to eating is not about restriction or perfection, but about harmony, gratitude, and awareness. At the heart of this diet lies the principle of hara hachi-bu, which means eat until you are 80% full. It's a small act of restraint with immense benefits. By stopping before we are completely satisfied, we give our bodies time to digest and prevent the stress of overeating. This practice reduces inflammation, balances metabolism, and allows the body to function with ease. The Okinawans have practiced this for centuries, making it an effortless part of their daily rhythm. The typical Okinawan meal is colorful and balanced, what they call eating the rainbow. Their plates are filled with vegetables, tofu, seaweed, grains, and small portions of fish or pork. They eat an abundance of plants. Over 30% of their calories come from vegetables, and very little sugar or processed food. Grains, especially rice, form the foundation of their diet, while meat and sweets are occasional treats. The result is a cuisine rich in fiber, antioxidants, and natural nutrients that strengthen the body and slow down aging. The chapter also emphasizes the role of green tea and herbal infusions. The Okinawans drink sanpincha, a fragrant blend of green tea and jasmine throughout the day. It not only hydrates, but also provides antioxidants that fight cellular damage. Similarly, the local shikawasa, a small citrus fruit native to Okinawa, is celebrated for its vitamin C and rejuvenating properties. These natural beverages replace sugary drinks and serve as quiet moments of mindfulness. But the Ikigai diet is not just about food, it's about the mindset behind eating. Meals in Okinawa are communal and mindful. People eat slowly, appreciating the taste and the company. Before eating, they say itadakimasu, a phrase that expresses gratitude to everyone and everything involved in bringing the meal to the table, from the farmer and cook to the earth and rain. This ritual transforms eating into a moment of appreciation rather than consumption. Science supports what the Okinawans have practiced intuitively. Studies show that low-calorie, nutrient-rich diets reduce the risk of heart disease, cancer, and cognitive decline. Caloric moderation improves longevity by activating genes related to repair and resilience. The Okinawans are living proof of this. Their rates of chronic illness are among the lowest in the world, and their vitality extends well into old age. The authors also point out the emotional and social dimensions of eating. Sharing meals strengthens community bonds, lowers stress, and increases happiness. Eating with others creates a rhythm of connection, reinforcing the feeling that we are part of something greater, a central theme in the Okinawan philosophy of life. Ultimately, the Ikigai diet teaches us that food is more than fuel. It is a daily expression of balance and gratitude. By eating less, eating naturally, and eating together, we align with the body's natural rhythm and the flow of life itself. The chapter closes with a simple message. Longevity does not come from strict rules or miracle foods, but from living with awareness and gratitude in every bite. To eat the Okinawan way is to honor life, to celebrate nature's abundance, to nurture the body gently, and to remember that how we eat reflects how we live. When we eat mindfully and stop before we are full, we not only feed our bodies, but also cultivate the inner peace that allows our Ikigai, our reason for being, to thrive. Chapter 8. Gentle Movements, Longer Life. The secret to a long, healthy, and joyful life, as the Okinawans show us, lies not in extreme workouts or intense discipline, but in the art of gentle movement. This chapter reminds us that the body thrives when it stays active in natural, relaxed ways. Just as water flows best when it keeps moving, so too does the human body stay young and vibrant when it is never stagnant. In Okinawa, people don't exercise as we understand it. Instead, movement is seamlessly woven into their daily lives, walking to visit friends, working in the garden, sweeping the porch, or preparing meals. These are not chores, but small rituals of vitality. By staying active without strain, they maintain flexibility, circulation, and strength well into their 90s and beyond. The key is consistency over intensity. This idea aligns with ancient Eastern traditions such as Tai Chi, Qigong, and yoga, which combine slow, deliberate motion with deep breathing. These practices cultivate harmony between mind and body, bringing awareness to each movement. Through them, the Okinawans and other long-lived cultures maintain not only physical health but also emotional balance. Every gesture becomes a form of meditation, an opportunity to quiet the mind and strengthen the spirit. Breathing plays a crucial role in these movements. The chapter highlights how mindful breathing nourishes our organs, calms the nervous system, and releases tension. In traditional Chinese medicine, specific breathing patterns are believed to heal different parts of the body. While science may interpret this differently, modern studies confirm that controlled breathing lowers blood pressure, reduces anxiety, and enhances focus. When movement and breath are synchronized, the body finds its natural rhythm again. The Okinawan elders often practice gentle stretching and balance exercises early in the morning. These routines are not about appearance or competition, they are about continuity and joy. Each movement carries gratitude for being alive. This mindset, more than the movement itself, is what keeps them healthy. They treat their bodies with respect, listening to what it needs and responding with care rather than force. Modern research supports this wisdom. Sedentary lifestyles have become one of the greatest health risks of our time. Prolonged sitting weakens the heart, slows metabolism, and shortens life expectancy. Yet even short, regular periods of movement can reverse much of this damage. The Okinawan lifestyle, light but constant activity, demonstrates how motion can be medicine. Beyond physical benefits, movement also strengthens social and emotional well-being. In Okinawa, exercise often happens in groups, dancing, gardening, or simply walking together. These shared moments cultivate laughter, connection, and belonging. Moving with others nourishes not only the body, but the soul. Ultimately, the chapter's message is simple but profound. Keep moving gently, and you will keep living fully. The goal is not to push the body to its limits, but to sustain it with kindness. A flexible body leads to a flexible mind, and together they create resilience against the challenges of aging. To live long is to stay in motion, not in haste, but in harmony. The Okinawans show that even the smallest movements, done with awareness and joy, can extend both the quality and the quantity of life. The art of longevity, then, is the art of flow, of breathing deeply, walking lightly, and allowing the body to dance softly with time itself. Chapter 9. Resilience and Wabi-Sabi, the beauty of imperfection and the strength to endure. At the heart of a long and meaningful life lies the ability to adapt, endure, and find beauty even in imperfection. In this final chapter, the authors explore two essential pillars of the Japanese spirit, resilience and wabi-sabi, timeless concepts that teach us how to face life's challenges without letting stress or worry age our souls. Together, they form the emotional foundation of Ikigai, the art of staying calm, hopeful, and alive through life's constant changes. Resilience is not simply endurance, it is the quiet strength that allows us to keep moving forward even when everything seems uncertain. The authors remind us that people with a clear Ikigai, a sense of purpose, share one thing in common: they never give up. They may fall, but they rise again. They may face loss or pain, but they continue with grace. Their motivation does not come from external success, but from an inner conviction that life itself is worth the effort. In psychology, this attitude is known as grit, but in Japan, it is a way of life, a patient, steady flame that never goes out. One of the great influences on this philosophy is Stoicism, an ancient school of thought that aligns beautifully with Japanese wisdom. Both teach us to focus on what we can control and to let go of what we cannot. When faced with adversity, the Stoics ask, "What can I learn from this?" Similarly, the Japanese view hardship as a teacher. They accept change as part of existence, inevitable, unpredictable, yet meaningful. Resilience, then, is not resistance, it is flexibility. Like bamboo in a storm, we must bend, not break. To cultivate this mental calm, the Japanese often turn to Zen practices such as meditation and mindfulness. Through stillness, they learn to observe their thoughts rather than be consumed by them. This quiet awareness allows them to face suffering without fear. The goal is not to escape pain, but to transform it, to see it as part of the rhythm of life. As the authors note, many of the world's longest living people have endured wars, poverty, and loss. Yet they remain cheerful, gentle, and grateful. Their secret lies not in avoiding hardship, but in accepting it with an open heart. This acceptance leads to the second great lesson of the chapter, the philosophy of Wabi-Sabi, which celebrates imperfection, impermanence, and authenticity. In a world obsessed with perfection, Wabi-Sabi invites us to see beauty in the incomplete, the aged, and the broken. A crack in a teacup, the fading color of wood, or the wrinkles on a face, all tell the story of time passing gracefully. The Japanese art of kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold, embodies this spirit. The flaw becomes part of the object's history, not something to hide. Likewise, our own scars, emotional or physical, make us who we are. Wabi-Sabi teaches us that life's beauty lies in its transience. The cherry blossoms bloom for only a short time, yet their fleeting nature is what makes them precious. When we embrace impermanence, we stop clinging to what we cannot keep and start cherishing what we have now. This awareness brings peace. Instead of fearing change, we learn to flow with it, understanding that endings are also beginnings. The authors conclude that by combining resilience and wabi-sabi, we find the true spirit of Ikigai. Resilience gives us the strength to persevere. Wabi-sabi gives us the wisdom to accept. Together, they teach us to live with balance, strong but gentle, focused but free. In the end, the secret to happiness is not to seek perfection or control, but to remain present and grateful no matter what life brings. To live with Ikigai is to live with purpose through imperfection, to find meaning in every scar, and to rise again softly each time we fall. This is the Japanese way of resilience, calm in the storm, humble in success, and always at peace with the imperfect beauty of being alive.